Everybody, it's me, Jones, back with a new video, a well-regulated militia. I did a video a couple years back entitled "Being Necessary to the Security of a Free State," in which I basically said that part of the Second Amendment means, whether you like it or not, fuck 12. If you don't know what fuck 12 means, I suggest just listen to some modern rap music, or you can Google it. That's always an option. But that I'll include a link to that video in the description box because it does pertain to this video I'm doing right now. Yankee Marshall did a video a while back talking about the idea of someone having a "Back to Blue" sticker or a thin blue line sticker and a "Don't Tread on Me" sticker on their vehicle, and how those two are diametrically opposed to one another. And he is in fact correct. Because I'm not a "Back to Blue" kind of person. In fact, I did a video called "Thick Blue Wall" where I criticized the idea of backing the blue. I'm not that kind of person. Now, I'm also not a defund the police kind of person. I'm not an abolish the police kind of person, because they do serve a legitimate function. But I made a comment on Yankee's video that this "back the blue" position is not a right-wing position. It's actually a centrist position. It's a go along to get along position. It's this let's not be in the extremes, let's come to the middle kind of position, and which I don't agree with. There are times when you have to take it, where taking a side is actually necessary. There is not a middle ground on all matters, and I think I know where this idea of backing the blue, of supporting the police, when also right wingers know their history, and they're under no delusion of who the police are and what they represent. The police just represents government force, government violence, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just what it is. It is what it is. But too many people have been conditioned into thinking that they must always support the police no matter what they do. I think I know where that comes from. I think it comes from when you were a kid in school, and if you saw two kids fighting, but you knew that the bigger kid started the fight and the smaller kid was just defending himself, they both got in trouble. That did two things. For one, it told the bigger kid that he can do whatever he wants, because he's just gonna get a slap on the wrist, or he's just gonna have to get very crafty with how he torments or extorts another kid. And it told the other kid who was just defending himself that you are not competent enough to do the basic act of self-defense. That you cannot defend yourself. You must ask for permission to do something that is basic as and natural as self-defense. You must go get a teacher. You must go get professionals. You gotta crowd for help for someone to fight your fight for you. Even though you're fully capable, or you can't be made capable to do the job yourself. You can't. No, you're gonna screw something up. You're gonna mess something up. No, you gotta go get help. And I think that manifested itself into adulthood with looking for the police for protection, looking towards the police to solve all your problems. When you're fully capable of defending yourself, you're fully capable of handling your own business. And I think it took many different forms, and this may bother some. I'm pretty sure I'll get people who disagree with me on this, but I think that's where concealed carry comes from. I mean, think about it. How do we go from having the Second Amendment, where I'm pretty sure people were just openly carrying wherever they wanted, to where now you have the permit system, where you have concealed carry, where now you have to have licenses, this, that, and the other. You have to go through all these hoops to exercise a right, to carry out the natural action of self-defense. I think teaching kids from a young age that they shouldn't defend themselves produce these results. And I think, like going back to what I was talking about with concealed carry, I think, as you know, I'm a big proponent of open carrying because, yeah, you give away your position, you give up the tactical advantage of having your weapon hidden, but you educate people who are on the fence. You show people who are skittish. You show people who are nervous about seeing someone other than a cop carrying a firearm that it's something that they can do. It's something that ordinary people around them have always done. And that it should be seen as totally acceptable. It should be openly embraced, seeing people carry weapons, because that means that person is not going to be a burden on anyone else. It means that person can actually defend themselves, and they can actually come to someone else's aid should the situation arise. It shows that person is independent. It shows that person is to a degree self-reliant. And that they can handle business when business needs handling. Now concealed carry does have its time and place, but it does come at a social cost. It comes at the cost of people thinking that it's only acceptable for the police to have weapons. Think about it. If concealed carry was so tactically, if it has such a high tactical advantage, then why do cops open carry? Why is it okay for the police to have their weapons out in the open, but not okay for other people to do the same? And I think that conditioning from childhood produced those results. It produced the results of relying on the police to protect you. When Supreme Court case like Warren versus D.C. has shown that not to be the case. That the police are not obligated to protect you. Their job is only to gather evidence, to investigate crimes, and to conduct arrests, not to protect individuals. But some people have it in their head that you must call the cops, must rely on them. They're the professionals. Wait for them to show up on the scene before you can do anything. Well, and while you're waiting, someone's rampaging on, taking full advantage of the fact that no one is psychologically equipped to take care of them, let alone physically equipped. So, I think the back the blue, yeah, it sounds nice, but it comes at a cost. It comes at the cost of people not conducting themselves in a manner that shows that they're capable of protecting themselves. It tells people that they must rely on someone else's permission to stay afloat. I think that's where it comes from. I think it comes from that childhood conditioning. But I'm happy to see it being fought against. Like in South Carolina, we're going to have open carry, which I intend on fully taking advantage of. And I kind of do, with the gun rack, like when people ask me, about why, how do you have that out in the open? I said, well, why not? Why not have it out in the open? Why not have more people see that weapons should be seen as socially acceptable? Why should it only be seen as acceptable when police do it? Also, with constitutional carry, I'm very happy to see other states adopting that. Nearly half the country has adopted constitutional carry. I think it's important for people to see that you don't need all this training. You don't need, all the sophisticated training to be able to just do something that's quite simple. Firearms are very simple. They're very simple tools. Now, there are various ways of using them. There are certain limitations, but there are different ways to overcome those limitations. There are ways to adjust. There are ways to improvise, adapt, and overcome when it comes to self-defense. And constitutional carry is an important element to that. Now, how does it all tie into the title of this video? Well, how do you have a well-regulated militia when the militia thinks it has to have permission to be well-regulated? How do you have a well-regulated militia? How do you have a militia at all when it doesn't think it can act independent of the state? When it thinks it has to have permission to protect itself or to protect other people? I think having a well-regulated militia at the start means that you have the right mindset, that you have the right mental preparation for utilizing utilizing that part of our Constitution, utilizing that part of our society, being part of a militia, which basically basically means the public is well armed and well prepared. And there have been many strides to strengthen this. With people making their own weapons, people making their own guns, their own knives, things like that, which I think is great. I think it's excellent that the militia can fund and arm itself, and not have to rely on the state to do it for them. But the wealth of information that's out there for people to learn various ways of being well regulated, of different ways of training, different ways of practice, different techniques, various ways of hand-to-hand combat, guerrilla warfare, of military history, things like that. Because I believe that if the militia is to be well regulated, it must be well versed in military history. It must know how certain battles are fought, what worked, what didn't work. Why something like the art of war is very important to anyone who's within a well-regulated militia. You know when to fight, know when to advance, know when to retreat. These are aspects of being well-regulated. But very importantly, being able to act independently, which I think Back to Blue is not a very independent-minded way of conducting himself. I think it's very permission-oriented. It's very reliant on the state-oriented. It's not very self-reliant. But like I said, there are various things that are out right now that are bringing the spirit of two-way back to its rightful place. I think I even said in an old video, I think we're gonna see. I think we'll be able to see full autos unrestricted at some point in time. I truly believe that. I think it's high time because because the NFA was a giant mistake. It was a big waste. It was a big smack in the face of the Second Amendment. And I think that as we move forward, as an American society, we're learning these things, and we're learning how to get back to our roots. Even with free speech, we're learning right now the importance of free speech and how to combat the things that go against it. It would take an advantage of free speech to keep the militia well regulated, because it is very important. It is very important that people know how to defend themselves, know how to defend other people, and know how to do all those things freely. Know how to do it without requiring the permission that they were taught to have when they were kids. Because all that does is hem up good people, while evil people are gonna they act with free reign, and it gives power that the people had to the state it should never been given over in the first place. But we are working to restore things to the rightful place. It takes time, but I'm happy to see it happening. But hey, that's my video. What do you guys think? Do you think I made some good points? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you excited about constitutional carry? Do you think that it's a big waste? Do you think the militia is not what the founders intended, or do you think that I myself and you who's watching the video are part of the militia? Sorry. Please share your thoughts. Leave a comment section. Like, share, and subscribe if you want to help out with the channel. Go to my YouTube homepage. Look for the Give Up That Cheese button. It'll take you to PayPal. You can donate any amount you like. All donations are greatly appreciated, because that's how this channel is essentially funded. I don't run any more ads in my videos. Some older videos have ads, but as for my newer videos, they're ad-free. Any gripes, complaints, send me a PM. I see you got to do to address them. Like I said, I'll see if I can include the link to an old video I did, Be Necessary to the Security of a Free State, which means fuck 12. And I'll include that link in the description box below. But that's my video, Well-Regulated Militia. I'm Edward Jones. You guys take care, be safe, stay strapped, and God bless.